Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening and welcome to the call for tonight. And I think that we are live, so we will go ahead and get started. Good to see everybody here. If you have questions as we go along, please write them in there on YouTube. I'll be able to see them. We want to talk about pre-selling your PLR video courses and using workshops to do that. And the idea here is there's a gap sometimes between, a customer coming to a sales page and just being ready to buy. And one of the things that I have heard that people have said in particular about, and maybe not just about video PLR, but just PLR in general, that, selling can be difficult, at least after the initial, rush. Right. But, while something is really popular, most of our video courses are really designed to be video to evergreen, right? You want to be able to sell them continuously. And one of the best ways of being able to do that is to teach. And if you will teach and put your teaching and make it available, that teaching will teach for you indefinitely. And if you will teach and pre-sell it, all you've got to do then is promote your workshop wherever it is. And, it's free content. You're giving it away. You're giving away good information. And you're basically saying to people, there's not just that there's more. And, if they think that they like what you just told them, they'll like more. There's more to it than that. It's really that what you're doing is you're telling them, here's a problem you have. Here's how what I have will solve it. And you share with them how they can do that. And you do that by giving them good information. And so that's what we're going to be talking about here tonight. How to pre-sell a PLR video course, using a workshop. I just want to remind you now, one thing I do want to say is that, at this page is, a place where I'm giving away, our workshop content. So the workshop that I'm doing tonight, I will make that available to you presently at this page. Now I will be changing this page. Right now, you're getting the workshops, plus you're getting product snowball formula along with it. This weekend, I will be splitting those products. I'm going to relaunch product snowball formula as a separate product. And so right now, if you get it, even though the page is kind of bare, there's only a sales video there. I'm just telling you that right now, if you go to that page today and you want to get all of our workshop content, all of our Stream Business Makeover workshop, the pre-sale workshops, plus product snowball formula, you need to go to that page today. All right, now let's talk about why you're going to sell a video course. Why would you pre-sell a video course? Maybe people don't know you all that well. And so what, when you have a PLR course, typically what you're doing is you're bringing people new information. And so when you bring them that information, they may or may not know you all that well to start with. And so one of the reasons why you really do want to do a weekly workshop in the first place is so that people can get to know you. And so when you start making recommendations, they feel good about it because they really feel like they're buying from somebody that they know. It also warms people up to your concept. When you first present a concept, right? Remember, when you're buying PLR, you're buying a subject and you are approaching the market. You were saying, even though I'm not a subject matter expert, I have a subject with expertise that I can give you, I can give you a level of knowledge. And right. And they may know you're not that person. So they might be saying in their minds, well, why would I want to buy this subject from you just because you know general business? And so what you do with a workshop is you warm people up to that concept in your own voice, right? That's what you're doing. And sometimes you don't even have time to explain the entire concept on the sales page. And it doesn't matter whether you're using somebody else's sales page or you've rewritten the sales page. The sales page does not necessarily communicate to people why they need it. And maybe for your audience, the reason that they need it is not on the sales page that comes with the PLR. And what you're doing in a workshop is you're bridging the gap. That's what you're doing. You may still be learning copywriting. So maybe you don't really know copywriting all that well. And when you've got to rewrite the copy or you got to use the copy that's there, you might not be comfortable. And one of the things that you can do without being a great copywriter is you can teach. So, and you don't even have to be a good teacher. You've just got to really explain to people why they need something and why it's a problem and why what you've got will solve their problem. So if you're still learning copywriting, a workshop is a great way of you being able to bridge the gap and then actually selling the product. You can also build credibility long after launch. So in other words, let's say that you bought a PLR product and you try to sell it. It doesn't sell, maybe because the subject matter is dead or maybe the time has passed, but you do a workshop on it. As long as that workshop is out there, what you're doing is you're still building credibility. Because if you will put that workshop on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever it is that it needs to go, what happens is you start building credibility because people will come and see it and watch it and they say, oh, well, this person really does know what they're talking about. And so you're still building credibility from that PLR. I'm going to tell you how to do that here in a minute. Now, workshop will really sell your product for you on YouTube and social media long after launch. It's pretty much the same thing as what I just said. It's going to sell the product for you. And so what you're doing is you're basically putting evergreen content and making it available, whether or not the product continues to sell. Right. So I see a lot of people, in groups and, different things, and they'll say, well, I went out and I bought ads in order to sell a PLR product. That's always almost going to be the wrong thing to do. Unless you really know what you're doing and you really know that that's going to convert. What you really want to do is you want to build an organic structure of trust. So you want to have people coming to you and you want to set it up so that people are kind of coming to you because they trust you, and people are coming to your workshops because you're teaching them, you're showing them something. And when you make a recommendation, then people are more apt to say, hey, you know what? I will buy that, because not so much because I'm in love with the subject matter right now, but because you told me I needed it. And so basically you want to be that person that people can rely on, so that when you get ready to sell them something, they will then sort of believe it and then they'll want to go ahead and buy. And, a workshop is disarming. And basically what you're doing is you're basically telling people you can drop your guard. I'm going to show you something, put your wallet away. Now, you don't actually go out and say that, right? I would never say that. I would never say that on this workshop. I don't want you to put your wallet away. But what you're doing is you're basically giving people a reason to say, to not have their guard up. Right. The more that you really show people, you're really going to have them to get to kind of put their guard down, because you're not asking for them, to send you money right away and all throughout the presentation. So this is not a sales webinar. So you're not doing a sales webinar. Now, when you want to learn how to do a sales webinar, I always recommend you go and look at Russell Brunson's Perfect Webinar. It's a great way of learning how to do a sales webinar. And I think there's some other people around that know how to do good sales webinars. They can teach you how to do those things. And typically there are formulas that you can follow, that you can do that. You'd never do that for a PLR product though. That would be almost overkill if you use, the perfect webinar system in order to sell, even a $47, $57 product. That's not what it's for. When you start talking about getting up to $300, $400, $500, right, then you need to have a webinar, a big ticket, in order to sell those things. But basically, when you're on a webinar on a week-to-week basis, that's the right medium for you to be able to pre-sell your content. That's what you are doing. You are bringing people week by week. You are telling them, here's how you run your business, and you make recommendations to them. And basically, you need to have your own PLR product. You need to have your own products when you're on those workshops, because you don't always want to be sending people to an affiliate product, right? I mean, why bring people on a workshop? You do all the work to get them on traffic, and you want to do all that work to put them inside of an affiliate product. You don't want to do that. Right. At minimum, you want to get those people into your own marketing funnel. And at maximum, you want to buy your own stuff. Right. So basically, when you pre-sell in a workshop, you're going to be a little more disarming than doing a flat out sales pitch. Now, one thing that I like to do, and I kind of stuck this in at the last minute, but it's something you can consider. When you have a PLR product, or even if you have a course, a video course or a course, I like to bring people on live. And so what you want to do is you want to have a live webinar as a bonus. And basically, you want to do something on that live webinar and show people something on the strategy level. Why do you do that? Because it pre-sells the upsell. right? It's a good excuse for you to tell people about the upsell. Um, Here's something that I'm doing with Ultimate Insiders, right? On Thursday, what we're doing is we're creating some post-sale workshops. So in other words, I will take a PLR product that I do, and I'm basically creating an additional workshop so that they can go and do a post-sale workshop. And this is one of the ways that you can rebrand content. So basically, what they're going to be able to do, and what you can do in any course you have, you can do a post-sale workshop. It's a live workshop where, after the person is bought, you bring them on a workshop strictly for the buyers of that product. And it is a way for you to teach them. Now, this works extremely well if you have PLR, because what you're doing is you are basically rebranding the content. It is a great way for you to not to have to rebrand the whole video course by bringing people on the live webinar and telling them what to expect. And showing people the things you emphasize, right? And you can say on that workshop, hey, you know what? Here's what, on video 7, the narrator goes into this point. I'm not necessarily agreeing with them there. Here's what I think you should do instead. And you show them what to do on your live workshop. It saves you amount of time to having to rebrand an entire video course, which you should not be doing anyway, right? Please do not be revoicing and re-recording videos. That's not what they're for. Right? You're not leveraging my work if you do that. Now, you're welcome to do whatever you want to do. But I'm saying one way that you can avoid having to rebrand an entire video course is to bring people on a live webinar and to teach them. Now, you might say, well, Charles, what if I don't sell any, right? What if I then record the video anyway? So in other words, let's say then that you put it out there, you don't get any sales. Well, just do the webinar free. Right. And you tell people that, if they want to get, you're going to take it down in 48 hours. If they want to get it, they got to get the course. Right. So if they want to get this live course, you just taught them. And basically, then all you're really doing is using that method as a way of an excuse for you to be able to teach the content live. If you teach that content live, you will be dynamic. You will overcome yourself. You will then present things extemporaneously. You'll say things that you would not say if you were just reading it. So I do recommend you do these things live. Right now, this is something that you can do in your own voice, right? And you can do this inside of any PLR package you have, right? Any PLR package you have, you can do a post-sale workshop, right? Record a live workshop with and for the buyers, right? That's what you should really be doing that in every front-end product that you have. Right now, I'm going to do a little example. I may not have time to finish the entire thing. I'm going to show you strategic marketing playbook and how I would do it, right? So let's talk about first, what does the course solve? This is the product that we're launching here in a few days, right? So what does strategic marketing playbook solve? What problem does it solve? Basically, your customers, right? They know what to do, but they don't know why they should do it. And so that means they're always going to be dependent on doing gimmicks for sales. They're going to be dependent on doing some kind of, using some kind of software, or, running a big discount sale, right? You want people to understand fundamental marketing principles so that they'll understand when to discount, why to discount, when not to discount, what they can do instead of just dropping and lowering their price. That is what strategic marketing playbook teaches them how to do, and to put together an entire marketing system. Now, here's the issue though, right? It'll also show them how to set that whole marketing system up, right? And they'll be able to leverage their customer base. That's what problem the course solves. And so if they will implement the thing, your customers, I'm talking about your customers right now, if you sell them this course or you use it to teach them, if they will implement one principle, right, they're almost guaranteed to increase their sales. Now, I can't guarantee anything that if they, please don't tell them Charles Harper guaranteed you that you can guarantee them they're going to increase their sales. Please don't tell them that, right? When you sell this course, if they will implement the things that are taught in here, it's almost impossible that they can't increase their sales. Because, I mean, think about it. they're going to they're going to add a unique selling proposition. They're going to add upsells and cross sells. They're going to build their list. And then they're also going to look for partnerships and marketing alliances, right? It's really hard to really take action on those things and not increase their sales. So if you will teach them these things, right, you'll be really solving a real problem that they're going to have in their online business. Right now, here's the problem. Right? It's difficult to get all that across on the sales page. I don't care how good of a copywriter you are or how good I am, if you're relying on my sales page to get that across to people. So they understand that if they just will learn these marketing principles and they will operate in them, that they really will be able then to increase their business. So that's the problem that the course solves. Let's talk a little bit about the make money online market, because I know that a lot of you may have those people in your circle. So I do want to address that. If your customer base is make money online, right? They're JVZoo Warrior Plus people. This is not a make money online topic. I'll tell you that right off the bat. Now, that doesn't mean then that if you don't, that they can't benefit. In fact, anybody that's an affiliate or they are a marketer, if they're not actively doing these things, if they're trying to generate sales on Warrior Plus, JVZoo, ClickBank, all those places, they will benefit the most from learning the content in this course. They just will, especially understanding how to do it in practical. So in other words, it's not just theory, right? I'm not just teaching USP on the theory level. I'm showing them how to put the USP in their online business by going step by step through those things. Here's the other thing that your customers are going to be able to do if they're make money online, right? And this will be really helpful. Once they understand the framework, they'll be able to look at any launch. They'll be able to analyze it, dissect it, and use it to their advantage without copying it. So in other words, what if you could go to any sales page on Warrior Plus or JVZoo, you could look at it. And if you had a framework to look at it, you'll be able to extract the principles that they're using to put in your business without going the next mile and copying what they're doing. But you can't do that without a framework. And that's really what Strategic Marketing Playbook does, teaches you the framework to think through. Because if you're just trying to analyze what's happening in the launch, and you're just looking at it and saying, they put that word in their copy and they did these things, and that's not a framework, right? It won't tell you why, and you won't be able to look at one launch versus another, be able to tell what people are doing. Once your customers understand this framework, they'll be able to do that on their own, right? And they won't need a cheat sheet. They'll understand exactly what they're looking at. And so that's why you should be teaching them why it's necessary for them to learn this content before they even see your sales page, right? When you put up the sales page for Strategic Marketing Playbook, you gotta warm them up to this. And if you will warm them up to this concept, they'll understand why they should be buying it. Now, so basically, here's what I did. Right now, I've only got 7 minutes, so I'm not going to be able to do all of it. But I basically taken the lead magnet content and expanded it, right? Expanded it. And basically, here's what we're doing. We're teaching your audience how to be a good customer of yours, right? That's really the whole idea around pre-selling the content, teaching your audience how to be a good customer. The lead magnet presentation is inside of the package, but basically it's a way of delivering it to your audience. And so the whole thing, right? If you look at the lead magnet content, now you haven't seen it yet because we've not launched it, but the lead magnet says how to solve your most pressing sales and marketing problems, right? That's the headline to the lead magnet. And so the first slide is basically talking about maximizing sales and changing results. And so basically, okay, when you teach through this concept, what are you doing? Right? You were basically reaching out to people and you were saying to them that if they have a problem and they don't understand how to increase their sales without lowering their prices, that you've got a way for them to think through it. Right? So what is their most pressing sales and marketing problem? Everybody has one. And so basically you are going to talk through these points in a workshop. Now I would suggest that you don't just read this. right? That you actually talk through it. And if you will talk through these things, again, I'm going to do this on Thursday for Ultimate Insiders. I'm going to teach through the entire thing. But basically, and what I'm going to be doing is basically when we get to these pages is to, again, I guess the word is extemporaneously, is to make comments between each point and not to read each point. And all I'm really trying to do when I'm explaining the content on this page is to reach out to the customer and let them know that there's a solution to this. That's all I'm doing. And so every page in this lead magnet, I'm just taking it, right? I'm asking them, are they tracking their sales? Most people are not. Right. So if you look at the lead magnet, I don't have this slide here, but I put this slide here for the workshop because I want people to focus in on this question. Are you tracking your sales? If you are not, right, you're going to need the course. Right. That's the idea. That's what I want them to walk away with. That's one of the takeaways. And so this is why I'm delivering this during the workshop. And so again, there are going to be points here, which again, I'm not going to read these points, but what I want them to do is to basically be thinking through and asking themselves these questions, right? Do they have a USP? Now, some people understand what USP is. They understand what it means. Some people don't even know what that word means. I want them to focus in on that question, right? That's question 1 for the workshop, right? There are points here that I'll go through, but then question 2. Do your customers have multiple opportunities to buy? Most people think that they have these things in place, but they probably don't. And so you're basically going to reach out to them and you're going to talk through these points. Now, again, I would not read this. When I do this on Thursday, I'm actually going to talk through these points. The question 3, do you have a way of contacting your customers? You'd be surprised how many of your customers don't have a list because they don't think it's necessary and they're really functioning off social media. Right. And to a person, everybody knows where social media can go really fast, right? You can end up losing a Facebook group by doing nothing sometimes, or by somebody getting a hold of your login and password, and all of a sudden you're locked out, right? And people do operate this way. And so you've got to really be able to teach your customers, right? Do they have a way of contacting your customers? If you don't teach them this, your customer can be the one, with, a gazillion Instagram, Facebook followers, and then losing that account and having no way of being able to make sales. You don't want to have that with your own customers, not on your watch, right? And so basically, again, question 3, I want them to focus in on that. And then obviously there's question 4, do you partner up with others? Now that's a little more abstract, but I'm going to explain to them why it's important. Now, again, all I'm really doing is I'm sharing with them, here are things I'm asking them during the session. And most of the time, they're going to say no to at least one of those things. And so basically, all I'm doing in closing is that these are part of their marketing system, right? And if they have all 4 of these things in operation, they are going to be able to maximize your sales. So how do they resolve this, right? Now, I mean, the last line is, take action here, take a look at what we've got here on this page for you. And this is a way of you being able to bridge the gap between, let's say, a lead magnet where they first saw and then talking through each point in the lead magnet so that they understand. Now, if you've got a specific niche, this is really where this really is going to help you, because let's say that all of these things are going to be directly relevant to weight loss coaches. If that's your market, you've got to be able to contextualize all this anyway. And you don't want to be rewriting an entire ebook, right? You don't be redoing videos, right? And you shouldn't be doing all that stuff. You should be able to take one presentation, one 30-minute anybody can take a 30-minute presentation and redo it to rebrand their PLR. Right? Everybody can do that. I mean, it is incredibly tedious trying to redo it any other way. And so if you will pre-sell your content, even if you don't give it live, I suggest you do it live, but some of you are just not going to do that. You can still redo this presentation in a context where it makes sense to your people. And so this is how you're going to pre-sell your content. Again, I suggest you do it live, but you take one presentation, you give it your context, and you talk between each point. Okay. And that's how you are going to do it. Okay. Any questions? This is, and again, this is especially relevant to PLR videos because um, I do not want people to have the temptation of trying to redo videos, right? You can redo a 30-minute presentation. You try to redo videos or re-edit videos, it's going to take you a long time. You'll never get anything sold before you have rebranded, put your stamp on it, right? That's the idea behind this. So any questions? Any questions? If you have any questions, you can write them there in the chat there in YouTube. Any questions? All right, so once again, remember now that all of my the Extreme Business Makeover pre-sale content that I'm going to be doing, right now, if you get access to the page, you'll get it along with product snowball formula, right? And again, I mean, all I've got on that page is a sales video, but if you're watching, and I think I have not changed the page, you can still get both products there. And what's going to happen is every time I do another pre-sale, right, for Extreme Business Makeover, I am going to raise the price, right? So, right now there are only 2 there. But if you get there later, then again, the more I do them, the price just has to go up, right? Now, you're new to us, make sure you sign up here at our get our daily newsletter at theplrshow.com. You get our free PLR Academy. When you do that, you're automatically signed up for our daily newsletter, right? So just go ahead and grab that there. It's a course in Teachable. There are 5 courses that will show you how to work with your PLR, in particular, your video PLR. I would really suggest, though, if you really want to roll with this idea of being an educator in your space, right? If you're trying to enter into your market and you're trying to enter into your crowded space, and most spaces in internet marketing are a little crowded, there's always going to be somebody there in front of you. You can always go in as an educator, and that's what we're helping people to do as an ultimate insider. So you can be an ultimate insider at theplrshow.com/insider training. A really special bonus right now is our Extreme Business Makeover Live. I've basically gone from teaching monthly to teaching weekly. The reason I'm doing that is so that the insiders will build a brand. And when it's all over, right, this is going to be, and it's an excuse for me too, right? I'm really creating a signature PLR product. And of course, then the insiders, they'll get that product if they're with me there till the end. So Extreme Business Makeover Live is a bonus. As an ultimate insider, you'll get that. Just make sure you go to plrshow.com/insider training. Right now, you can still get Francis's video PLR. There are 3 PLR video courses there on plrshow.com/FrancisO. And you'll get the 3 PLR video courses along with it. Okay, now, once again, if you have found benefit to this, I'm going to ask you to do us a favor. Just go to the plrshow.com/shout and just give us a shout out if you will. Okay, everybody. So thank you very much for hanging out with us here. Appreciate you all being here. Have a great night and a pleasant tomorrow. Take care.